Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Genuine Chit-Chat. Before we get started, I was going to say this is an episode with my mate Alex Hart. We talk about movies and stuff because we have an Instagram page called I Am Movies, where we review movies. We talk about, we've got movie art on there, Steelbooks, occasionally do comics and sometimes TV series as well, kind of depends. But yeah, so if you're interested in that sort of thing, just check us out on that, follow us. I'll include a link below, and I think it's on the artwork anyway. And just a heads up, we do occasionally reference a previous podcast, which we did actually record before this one. But for certain reasons I'm not going to go into, I'm not going to release that one, at least not yet. I might release it down the line a little bit, or I may not end up releasing it. But I'm sure in the future me and Alex will have another chat, because he's obviously moved to Wales now. But I'm sure he's going to come back and hang out soon, and we'll probably all try and sort out doing another podcast. But yeah, this one's just about movies. So all movie lovers, you'll probably enjoy this one. Let us know what you think and stuff. Like us on Facebook, rate, all those sorts of things. It's going to be all in the description and whatnot. So yeah, on with the show. We're both really into films. I'd say Alex is more into films than I am, which if anyone knows me knows how surprising that must be. But I think almost every film I've seen, you've also seen, Alex. As well as I think of all my films, like I got like 300 or 400 DVDs or Blu-rays. I think there was only about 15 of them that you hadn't seen. Yeah. I think I lent you half of them anyway. So yeah. I think there's only I imagine in the world there's probably only about 20 to 30 movies that I've seen that you haven't. Whereas you've seen almost fucking everything. Talk to you about a movie, and it's just like, it's so rare for you not to have seen something. So, yeah, with this podcast, we're just going to have a little chat for an hour or so, I guess, about just movies and stuff, Yeah. And also in the last podcast, I mentioned about the guy who played Draco Malfoy, and it's Tom Felton. So I'm sorry to anyone who's a massive Harry Potter fan. I do like... But Harry Potter, here's the thing, with all the blockbusters, okay? With Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Star Wars, and James Bond... I don't know if I'm missing any. Let's just say those ones, the sort of huge, the heavyweights of them. What are your favourites? I know Jurassic Park, I think, is your absolute favourite, isn't it?
Yeah, I love Jurassic Park.
And then there's obviously, you can go into like the Alien franchise and that sort of thing.
Yeah, Alien is my favourite horror movie of all time. Easily.
Yeah, because you really like Alien, but I'm more of an Aliens fan.
Yeah, they're two different films. With two genres that are totally different. So there's a lot of people that either fancy either one better, depending on what your preference is for movies.
It kind of depends when you watch them as well, doesn't it? Because I watched Aliens first, and then when I watched Alien 1, it just seemed really boring. Because obviously, Alien 1's all about suspense, and it was one of the first films of that kind of like a sci-fi horror.
Yeah, 1979, it's mental how long ago it came out.
Yeah, and to be honest, it is quite slow, but that's kind of the point. But it's like, you don't really see the alien for like about an hour.
Yeah, which is perfect, really, because you need something like that, because it was like I said, it was massive for the time. It was amazing. Well, the suspense in it is absolutely perfect.
Well, yeah, well, regardless if whether or not you like the film Alien, it's one of those things where you have to admit it's one of those films just amazing at the time.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like I say to people, with Alfred Hitchcock, for example, I haven't seen a huge amount of his films, but The Birds, you watch it now, and the birds look like fucking shit. They're made out of paper mache with string, okay? They look absolutely pitiful.
Dog show.
Yeah, but I watched it when I was about 14, and when I was 14, I was a lot more critical of movies, and I really didn't like old movies, but I really enjoyed it.
Oh, it's fucking amazing.
It's great.
Film.
The idea of it is brilliant. I'd like them to remake it in a way that they don't fucking ruin it, which is very unlikely.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's one of those films.
I'd say I'll tell you who'd be good at making it, remake it. I can't remember who the director is, but the new Evil Dead.
Yes.
Because that's one of the only remakes. I'd say the new Evil Dead and the new Nightmare on Elm Street. Those are the only two remakes of horror.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
The one with the guy who played Rorschach in.
Jesus Christ! What an awful film.
You didn't like the new one?
Fucking dog shite.
See, that's what I mean. Everyone's got different opinions on it. I loved it. I thought that film was amazing. However, a lot of people hated it. But what I think generally everyone can agree on is that Evil Dead, the new one, which was, I think it's still produced by Sam Raimi, who made the original trilogy, and who also made the Spider-Man trilogy. But the new Evil Dead is so good.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing.
One of the only remakes that everyone kind of unanimously agrees is just fucking brilliant.
It is. They did really well.
If they remade The Birds with that sort of, where it's got the hint, Maybe it's Sam Raimi. If Sam Raimi remade The Birds, where the right mix of horror with a bit of comedy, because obviously that sort of situation. Like, have you seen the Ash vs. the Evil Dead series?
Yes.
Oh, so good.
It's amazing.
Have you seen the second series?
I haven't seen the second
season. No, nor have I yet.
No, it's on my watch list. But the thing with The Birds, I've watched it probably last year, I think.
Oh, really?
And it's still a fantastic film.
The acting's great as well.
Yes. But the thing that makes it terrifying is the sound
design the flapping.
The film. It's awful.
Yeah.
Because in the film, there's so many times where the flapping gets louder and louder, and then it becomes overbearing.
It's almost deafening, isn't it?
It's awful, and it's like it's one of those sounds that's so uneasy. The flapping of wings, like you have a bird in your house, like the sound of it is just, I don't know, it makes my skin crawl.
It's like you get a little sparrow or something in my old place where I used to work. A bird would occasionally fly in and you have to get out, but it's flapping about, it freaks you out a bit because you don't hear wings very often.
It's such a frantic motion.
Yeah.
And the sound from it is so frantic and uneasy. Like, I think that's what it's so overpowering in the movie, and it really does like put you in creeps because it's like flipping out, man.
The idea of it as well, you know, you think that if every bird did some reason try to attack humans, that's it, we're gone. You know what I mean? Like, we're fucked. There's almost no way we could survive. If we had enough warning, if it was like a disease that spread over the world, maybe the last place it was hit by it could hide underground or something. But like, as it shows in that movie, you know, they just crash through the windows. If you have a swarm of like 200 birds, they all crash into a window. Yeah, maybe 10 of them die, but then you've still got like 190 birds in one fucking room. You're dead. Because there's that scene which I remember, which is just brilliant, and I remember my dad telling me about the film The Birds, and I remember watching it at the start, and you see the birds, and you're like, oh god. But then there's a bit where you see them all go into that guy's room, and I would say spoilers, but the film's made in the 60s or something. So, but they all go into this room, and all the birds, and these people go into the room afterwards, and there's this guy who's like slumped by the window, and he's had his eyes pecked out. Yeah, and it's not like as gory or gruesome as a lot of films today, but the imagery of it.
Yeah, man.
That's what Hitchcock was so good with, wasn't he?
Yeah, man. It's haunting. It's this small little things that make you feel uneasy, and I think he nailed it in that film, and I think
Hitchcock was a genius.
Yeah,
I've only seen
Shape of the Imagination.
I'm not sure actually of how many of his films I've actually seen. I don't think I've seen Psycho. I don't think
I've seen Rear Window.
I don't think I've actually seen any of his films bar the birds. Thinking about it, me trying to pretend that I know a lot about
Vertigo.
Film. No, I haven't seen Vertigo. I haven't seen North by Northwest.
Well, funny thing is, if you've seen Rear Window, they did a film with Charlotte Booth in.
The Disturbia.
Yeah, that was a loose remake of.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that either.
Rear Window.
But I know. I think Simpsons parodied that as well.
Yeah, probably they parodied a lot of Hitchcock.
They ruined The Shining for me, The Simpsons, because I saw The Simpsons horror Shining, which I think is still really funny. You know, it's got groundskeeper Willie saying The Shining. It's like, don't you mean The Shining? Shh, you don't want to get sued. It's like, and he's just constantly walking around, groundskeeper Willie being crazy.
Brilliant, yeah,
but
I love that.
The film itself, The Shining, I watched that about 2 or 3 years must be after I saw that Simpson episode, and I just knew the entire plot. So it would not be every single thing that happened. But the thing is, because I'd seen The Simpsons of it, and because when I watched it, I think I was 14 or 15, which is one of the worst ages to watch films at, really. When they're iconic films.
Yeah.
You know, especially when they're older films. It's weird that as you get older, you kind of appreciate older films a bit more.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I watched it and I just really wasn't that impressed. I just thought it was slow, nothing really happened in it. And it's one of the only films, really, that when in today's thing, generally if there's films that are classics, if I don't really like them, I can appreciate them. But The Shining's just one that's just really never clicked with me.
Yeah, it's a shame because it is such a fucking amazing movie. But
yeah, I accept
Stephen King doesn't like it. He hates it. He thinks it's one of the worst adaptations of his books ever made.
Yeah.
Funny enough, it is very different from the book.
Yeah.
But it in itself is an absolute fucking astonishing movie. But Jack Nicholson makes it. And
he's great in it.
Like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is.
Oh, that film's amazing. Well, Jack Nicholson's just fantastic in everything.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's a really, really good actor.
He was in the Adam Sandler movie before he went shite, wasn't it?
Was that the Anger Management?
Anger Management, that was a brilliant film.
I haven't seen that. I'm not the biggest Adam Sandler fan.
No, but that was on the verge of him just going fucking full on meltdown and making the shittest films ever made.
The thing is, I like Grownups, the first one.
Jesus, please stop talking.
It's one of those.
No, we're not talking on the podcast about Grownups.
I'm just saying that with that film, if you watch it expecting something funny, then you're going to be disappointed. But if you watch expecting like an easy to watch, light-hearted, not too deep human film, like a people film, then it's all right. It's like a really average. Like if you like, all the other People films are such high standards. You got the Way Back and Little Miss Sunshine, and they're both fantastic. You got all the Wes Anderson movies, and obviously me and you fucking love Wes Anderson, and I'd say pretty much all his films are phenomenal, except it wasn't that fast on Bottle Rocket, but that was like his first one, so it's understandable. And then fucking Hunt for the Wilder People. That film's so good. There's so many People films that have come out that are just so next level, and then if you watch Grownups expecting a People film, you'll be pleasantly surprised. It's just that I've never really found Adam Sandler that funny. I think Happy Gilmore's good. I think Waterboy's quite good. Click's a really great film, especially the idea of it is
very
fantastic. Good. But it's like the problem is with Adam Sandler is he over Adam Sandler's himself.
Yeah.
Like with Waterboy, his accent is so fucking annoying.
Oh, I can't stand that movie.
That's why I can't watch Little Nicky. I
love Little Nicky, man.
I know a lot of people say it's great, but I literally cannot watch it. His voice in it is so annoying. I'm just like, no, I can't. It pisses me off too much.
But hand on heart, I would rather shit in my hands than clap. Then watch Grown-Ups again.
Well, to be honest, Grown-Ups like 2 hours long, so it's probably a quicker thing to do to shit.
Gouge my eyes out.
Yeah, but you're a lot more passionate about hating certain films than I am. Well, here's something we should do, right? What really big films, or at least very well received films, do you think aren't that great?
They're not necessarily very well received. Pain and Gain with Rock and I think it was Mark Wahlberg in.
Barely anyone's seen that film. I'm talking about here's one for me, The Revenant. Now, if you had a computer to make an Oscar-winning film, The Revenant would be it. It's got DiCaprio in, who is fantastic in it. It's got Tom Hardy in, who's fantastic. I'd argue that Tom Hardy's better in it, to be honest. There's that kid, Will Poulter, who's in Detroit and We're the Millers.
He's amazing. Really good now.
I listened to a podcast with him. He was on Scroobius Pip's podcast recently, actually. It's only an hour long. I'd really recommend you download it.
Man, he
really sounds such an awesome guy. Like, I just want to hug him. He's so genuine. I'd really, really recommend you download that.
He's a brilliant actor. And I think he's really getting the roles that he needed now. Because he did the one where he's in the road trip with...
That's the We're the Millers, I think.
Yes,
with Jennifer Aniston.
And I thought that was brilliant. And
that's surprising.
I was really hoping to see him in more stuff, and obviously him in Detroit and in that Revenant. So he's great actor. But
with The Revenant, I think Tom Hardy played it better than Leonardo DiCaprio, and I think Tom Hardy is the DiCaprio of Britain. I think everything I see Tom Hardy in, he is absolutely amazing. He's great in Legend. He's great in The Revenant. He's great. I remember Peaky Blinders. I'm on series 2 now. He's great in that. Lawless, he's amazing in.
Yeah, brilliant in Lawless.
Everything I see him in, he's just so good. And DiCaprio is the same. DiCaprio in Wolf of Wall Street is just... He should have won the Oscar for Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah, I think his portrayal in Wolf of Wall Street is some of the best acting I think I've ever seen. Him and the Ludes is just one of the funniest things I've ever seen. But the Revenant,
I'm glad you're watching Peaky Blinders now, because I was banging on to you to watch that. And what's your thoughts on it so far? How are you into it?
Series 1, I thought the first episode, it kind of put me off a bit, because I was like, I was kind of expecting, because I'd heard, they're the Peaky Blinders, they wear razors in their caps, and they're gangsters and they cut people's eyes and things like that, and I was like, it's going to be like a really brutal thing, and then it wasn't, and I was like, but then it's much more clever than that, and obviously it's based on the real sort of the Shelby brothers or whatever from Birmingham in the 1920s and stuff. And I find that the whole thing, what they're doing a lot more with series now, is there's a lot of them are becoming a lot more gritty and a lot more dark, but a lot more human. So, and it's very hard now. There's so many anti-heroes now. Obviously, I know Deadpool's the big anti-hero, but he's really just kind of a hero, but with a dick. But like Breaking Bad's probably the best example recently, where you watch all of Breaking Bad, and Breaking Bad's fucking phenomenal, but it's like, you watch that, and, except maybe the last season or so, you are kind of supporting Walt, even though he's being a dick to everyone, you know? Man. And it kind of brings about that whole thing of, no one's perfect. And even with the Shelby brothers, it shows in series 1, I won't spoil what happens if anyone hasn't seen it, you need to, it's on Netflix, six episodes per season, they're an hour long each, it's really, really good. I think series 2 of Tom Hardy comes into it, he's amazing in it as well. I just love Tom Hardy being Tom Hardy.
Second season is really, really good.
Have you seen series 3 yet?
No, it's the only one, I've been waiting for it to come on Netflix.
Yeah.
I will probably just buy on Blu-ray, because I'm going to get the set, because
We can get the Steelbook of Series 1 for £8 at the moment.
Oh, amazing.
I was tempted by that, but I was like, that's on Netflix. I can't really afford that
both
sort of
2 seasons on Netflix. So
yeah.
Watch him.
Yeah. But Cillian Murphy, love him as well. Obviously, the main.
Amazing.
Everything I've seen him in. He was in Inception, Sunshine, 28 Days Later.
I watched Redeye the other day. Is it Redeye?
I don't know.
Yeah, that one. And that was amazing.
Yeah, well, people know Cillian Murphy most from either Batman Begins, he was Scarecrow, or I think one of his best roles, apart from Thomas Shelby in Peaky Blinders, but obviously, the problem is a series, you get so much more screen time, so much more character depth compared to movies. But him in 28 Days Later, I think that Danny Boyle, who made 28 Days Later, Shallow Grave, and Trainspotting, and Slumdog Millionaire, he is him and David Fincher, who made Fight Club, Seven, Gone Girl, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Sorry?
Alien 3.
He made Alien 3?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, fair enough. Unfortunately, that's probably the worst of the four, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but if you understand what the film went through before it came into what it is, you kind of appreciate it.
Well, Alien 3 is a great movie. It's worse than Aliens in every way. Do you know what I mean? It's literally like, here's Aliens, let's get rid of half the interesting cast, get rid of the massive battle at the end, and add loads of flashing lights. And it's like, if they made Alien, then Alien 3, and then Aliens, it'd probably be better in a way. But it's because you had Aliens that was such a perfect film, and then Alien 3 was just slightly worse.
Yeah.
But I love David Fincher, and I love, obviously, Danny Boyle and stuff. But, the starting scene in 28 Days Later, obviously everyone should have seen that film by now. Even if you're not into zombie films, it's... I didn't love the film. I don't think it's one of the best zombie films, but I just think the first 15 minutes of that film, along with the soundtrack, is some of the best cinema you can ever see.
Yes.
I just think where he's walking through London and there's no one there, and that I can't remember what the music is.
Yeah, it's amazing.
If people just Google 28 Days Later soundtrack, it will come up, and I've listened to that so many times.
It's amazing.
It's so good. Yeah, Danny Boyle's got a real thing for picking the best music and stuff.
Yeah, and he doesn't glorify it as well. Because in those photos, London looks shit. Like, shit.
Well, Britain generally, as we were talking about in the last podcast, Britain's fucking grey.
And they don't glorify it. They make it look like it's. That's what I really like about a film. It's very much the quality of the cameras aren't very good. Like, it's a very low budgeted film. As such, like, doesn't look that great in lots of the shots. It's not polished. No, not by any means of the imagination.
Excuse me.
But yeah, I do love that film. But yeah, Redeye, if you've never seen that with him, and it's amazing. It's basically like it does get more action packed in the end of it, but it's very much two people sat next to each other on a plane. I'm not going to give too much away.
Yeah.
You think obviously it's just a normal thing, it's a coincidence that she keeps bumping into him, and then obviously stuff gets revealed. I won't give too much away, but he's trying to murder someone.
Oh Christ! Yeah.
And he's trying to use the person he sat next to on a fucking plane. Like, it's absolutely brilliant. Like, come on. Like, it's really well done. And can you imagine that, being sat on the plane and someone next to you, just like, if you don't do this stuff, we're going to kill you.
Yeah, that sounds...
on a plane.
Well, it's like, there's that film, Phone Booth, that I think is really good.
Oh, brilliant film, yeah.
It's surprising, because it's got Colin Firth in it, who... He's amazing in... Not Colin Firth, Christ, that's completely different. Colin Farrell. Colin Firth and Colin Farrell are two of the most opposite actors there are. Colin Farrell and Kiefer Sutherland. I was just like...
Kiefer Sutherland, amazing.
Yeah, it's like, I remember that film. I think I got it from like a nearby video. I think it was Showing Video. I got it for like £2, or maybe it's CEX. I got it for like £1. And I can't remember why I even got it. Because I was just like, oh, maybe my dad got it for me or something. I don't know. But I just remember getting it and being like, this film isn't going to be that good. I remember watching it being like, this is so well done. Like,
it's
so clever.
So good. It's really good.
Yeah, I love that movie. But for me, I'd say the most popular film, which I'm really not into, apart from generally James Bond movies, but I've only seen Casino Royale, is The Revenant. I just think it's 2.5 hours long, easily cut 45 minutes out of that, and if they did, that would have been an absolutely amazing movie. It's just the director was glorifying he's getting a boner over how awesome his shots were, and it's like, they were beautiful shots, but I don't need every single time the camera cuts to have 10 to 20 to sometimes 40 seconds of just watching the sunrise or sunset or something over these beautiful looking trees and mountains. You just don't need to see that every 5 minutes.
See, that's probably my favourite part of the movie, is
that's
the
why we're different.
But obviously, because obviously I work outdoors, and that's why I moving to Wales for, is the scenery. So I really appreciate in that movie.
Yeah.
I understand from a story perspective, it's not exactly that. It has its redeeming factors. Like, the bear scene is absolutely amazing.
Oh yeah, the bear scene.
Some of the kind of hallucinogenic
the first
scenes.
half an hour to 45 minutes is absolutely phenomenal. It's just when it gets separated, it just becomes him crawling for about an hour.
Tom Hardy is absolutely phenomenal in that movie, though.
Oh yeah. Tom Hardy steals the show, actually. I think he should have got the Oscar.
But yeah, he's just, and obviously we just saw him in what's it called?
What
film we just saw Tom Hardy in? He's the pilot.
Oh, Dunkirk.
Yeah, he's in Dunkirk. He's brilliant in Dunkirk. Even though he doesn't do much, like him as an actor.
Well, Chris Nolan made Dunkirk. That's another director I love.
Oh yeah, amazing.
Interstellar. Oh, that film. And obviously Memento is great as well. But yeah, well, Tom Hardy, just everything he's in, he's just phenomenal. Oh, Cillian Murphy's in it as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Oh yeah, we forgot that.
Oh Christ!
Well,
coming right back on itself.
We're terrible at this. We run an Instagram page claiming to be movie buffs, and we couldn't even remember the film we watched a few weeks ago. Bloody hell!
Yeah.
So what's your film which everyone just loves, and you either just don't get it, or you're just really, really not into it?
Memento.
You don't get Memento?
Not a big fan of that film.
Oh, but I suppose it's a really cool film, but it's mainly because it's so edgy and like, the way it's made is kind of intentionally so try hard.
I don't like Natural Born Killers. Have you ever seen Natural Born Killers?
No, you know I haven't seen that yet. I'm going to because I love Woody Harrelson. I think was it written or something by Tarantino or something?
No, maybe ex-produced, but no, not a massive fan of it, unfortunately. I don't know why. I think it's a lot of how it's made. When I don't know, it doesn't click with me, and I think there's a few films where it just doesn't click with me. So, same as Pain and Gain, that film with Rock and that in. It's just I can't stand it. I think from studying film at college, you kind of realise how shit the editing and the shots. Oh, another one, which to be fair wasn't actually, it was quite panned by critics, is Suicide Squad. Such a letdown, massive letdown.
Yeah, see, I'm one of the people who actually enjoyed Suicide Squad. But I was kind of like, me and my mate Callum, who, once again, another person going to get the podcast. Obviously, me, you and Callum have all got Limitless cards, so we can go to the cinema whenever we want, so I always go with either you or Callum. And we saw it quite late compared to everyone else. And because everyone was saying it's like the shittest film ever, this is terrible, it's pathetic, blah, 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 we went in there going, we have to watch it because we're watching DC films and we're film buffs, so we're like, this is going to be terrible. And then we watched it, and we came out of the cinema like, that wasn't that bad. And I think what the thing was is that it got so much hype, and the problem is it had such potential. It could have easily been the best superhero film, apart from arguably Dark Knight, because I don't really think any superhero films can beat that. Apart from Dark Knight, I think Suicide Squad, if they'd had the right casting, the right director, the right amount of writing and everything, it would have been one of the best superhero films of the decade. Easy. Yeah. But the problem was, Jared Leto's Joker, his acting wasn't the problem. It was the character of the Joker was just shit, because you could have literally replaced it with anyone. It didn't even need to be the Joker. It was just a gangster. It was like, there's no point. Harley Quinn was pretty good, but it was just primarily Margot Robbie being hot and annoying, which is fine. Will Smith stole the show, which I love Will Smith. But when you've got a film called Suicide Squad, and it's meant to be all these Marvel miscreants, and you have Will Smith being Deadshot, being the standout star, that's how you know the rest of the film's so bland. Because Will Smith is great at being Will Smith. He's either angry, pissed off Will Smith, sad Will Smith, or happy Will Smith. That's it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I, Robot, I Am Legend, sad, angry Will Smith. Deadshot, he's angry, sad Will Smith. 7 Pounds, Concussion, Pursuit of Happiness, he's sad Will Smith. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Men in Black, he's happy Will Smith. He's only got the 3. And that's fine, because that's what he does, Yeah. It's more than Seth Rogen's got, which I love Seth Rogen, but he's only ever Seth Rogen in films. But it's like, if you have a character who... Will Smith is just being Will Smith. And Will Smith, when you've got characters like the Joker, Harley Quinn, Killer Croc, whoever the fuck Boomerang is, I'm not into the DC Comics or DC much at all, But it's like, when you've got all these things in there, and your standout character is Will Smith being Will Smith, then you know you've got a problem,
Yeah, they just, I don't know, the editing for that was choppy and shit as well. They edited scenes and stuff, and just generally didn't enjoy it.
It was too much pressure, I think, on the film.
The start is so fucking poorly done. Like,
see, you don't like the start. I love the start. With the fact files coming up. See, I love that bit.
They had to do it, because obviously they had to explain characters, but the way that they transition from it is literally so straight cut. It's like, here's a scene, music plays, cut. Here's a scene, music plays, and it's cut so drastically. It's
rushed.
For someone who really likes movies, the transition and those scenes together is so poorly done. It's like a fucking project you would have done at school, and you didn't know how to transfer scenes together. Even like when you fucking put a photo on computer, if you put a load of photos together, you can choose the transition thing where it fades into the next bit, and it just makes it that much more clean. Yeah. They didn't even do anything like that. It literally is so cut. It just looks shit, and I hate they do it with the music as well because they have some really good tunes in it.
I found they cut very quickly.
Oh, they do. They just had to go.
Well, they also just the first half hour to an hour of the film is basically like, here's some vague-ish interesting scenes, and like vaguely interesting scenes, and with really sick music on top of it, and it just seems like someone went, what should we do here? Well, the acting isn't that great. The story's a bit thin. Let's just put a really cool pumpy rock anthem that everyone quite likes for 30 seconds, and then just stop it immediately. And they had the Eminem song. I think it's Real Slim Shady. I think, and I'm a huge Eminem fan, and most people pretty much are, especially our age. But it's like there's no need for him to. It was just like they started getting changed and putting all their stuff on, 40 minutes in or whatever. And they start playing, and it was like, this is a cool song, but it doesn't fit at all. No. And they just stop. It literally, like, the scene doesn't even change. It just stops. It's like, what?
It's crap. And it doesn't work. But the funny thing is, the trailer was so well done. Whoever made that trailer should have got a fucking Oscar, because they made a film. Most trailers can show a shit film to look good, but this made it look absolutely fucking epic. And the sound editing on the trailer is so perfect with Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
To the point where shots are making the sound of it, and the plane, the helicopter falling down. It's so good that you think, wow, they must have had this. And then you watch a movie like they must have change people or something.
Well, I think they said
people that made the trailer should fucking have got every award for it, because that's the only good bit about the movie was the trailer.
I think they cut about with Jared Leto was whinging about it, wasn't he? Because I think he filmed like an extra 20 or 30 minutes of Joker footage that wasn't even put in there. Yeah. They completely cut a big chunk out of the Joker story out and rejiggered the plot about. I think there was like 5 or 6 different scripts for Suicide Squad, or there were 5 or 6 different endings or something that they kept changing around. What ended up being, for me, it's all right. I've got it on Steelbook. To be honest, the Steelbook artwork is beautiful. It looks fucking cool. But it's like...
Do you have it?
Yeah. Have you seen it?
I'll have to have a look after this.
Yeah, no worries. I'll grab it for you in a sec. But it's like... The Steelbook looks beautiful, and it's got extended cut, and I couldn't even really tell the difference in the film. It's got like 10 minutes extra or something. But I want to buy the Steelbook because I do actually enjoy the film, and I do actually like it. It's just, the way I would describe it is ever so slightly more adult Marvel superhero film, but almost worse in every way.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it bothered me because it had such potential, that's the thing is with DC's, Man vs. Steel. For me, the first hour of it was fucking awesome. And then when he actually starts fighting, which is the part you kind of want about Superman, it's just shit and pointless. Because they're just punching each other through buildings for an hour. And it's like, but it's almost like neither of them can die. So it's almost pointless. And then eventually, obviously, he does kill him at the end. It's just like, okay, cool. And then Batman vs. Superman was just absolutely pathetic.
It's
like 2.5 hours. And it was so boring and predictable. And none of it made any sense. And then they released that extended cut, which is even longer. So I'm not watching that.
Yeah, thinking it was like an adult version, didn't they? Thinking it would save it. But no. You know what this is what I imagine the making of Suicide Squad was like. So do you know in the Simpsons movie, okay, when they're talking about what they're going to do to Springfield, all right?
What, with how they're going to make it better?
Well, he's got those sheets, doesn't he? Have those plans.
Oh, of course.
And he goes to the mayor, and he goes,
it's Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger, isn't it? Yeah.
We've got 5 plans, like, these are what we could do. And then the mate, he's like, I want this one. And he's like, oh, I wouldn't go for that one. And then he goes, I want that one. And he's like, no, I wouldn't go for that one. So he's obviously just trying to choose which one it is.
Yeah.
And obviously the guy doing it is probably the guy that makes all the budget and stuff.
Yeah.
And was trying to find the easiest script to do. So he probably had some really good scripts, but they just thought, no, we'll go for one. And I can just imagine it like that. Some dumbass
DC were trying to catch up with Marvel too much. That's the problem.
It was a rat race, wasn't it?
Well, that's the thing. And like they released Man of Steel, which was kind of like mixed reviews because
the start of Man of Steel is brilliant.
It's so dark and gritty. It's what you want from that kind of film.
I really enjoyed the start of it.
Yeah.
And then she goes dog shite.
Yep, I totally agree. And then Batman vs Superman was shit. Pretty much the entire film, except the bits where Batman was by himself beating up people, because that bit was awesome. And then Jesse Eisenberg, Lex Luthor, was terrible.
Yeah, miscast.
I really like Jesse Eisenberg, but he did not do Lex Luthor justice. He just
Kevin
sucked.
Spacey did it well.
Yeah, see, I haven't seen, and I don't think I've seen many of the odd Superman films. I just don't like him. I just don't like Superman. I think he's shit.
It's I don't like Superman. I've
never liked Superman.
No time for him. Like,
well, it's just like, here's an enemy which his only weakness is kryptonite and his love for his girlfriend. It's like,
yeah, man.
Well, you've literally written, like, immediately, you've already completely ruined it, because you know the only things that can happen is either, obviously, Man of Steel, it's someone like him who fights him, but it's not like 2 humans fighting. it's just two people who can't kill each other, and then randomly at the end he just suddenly can kill him, and it's like, what? It's like they hit each other with like those metal girders and stuff, and it's like they fly into a building and then they come back and neither of them are scratched at all, and it's like, but he's so indestructible, you can shoot a bullet into his eye and he doesn't feel it, or it doesn't hurt him. So it's so it's like me hitting you as hard as I can with a pillow. It's like, but that doesn't do anything, so there's no point. So you're just watching these two people fight the whole time, which just that triggered me. But yeah, it's like
it just breaks his neck.
Yeah, and it's just that end is just you just watch it and you're like, okay, and they just kind of end. It's like, all right.
And the funny thing is, after that film, I went away thinking Michael Shannon, don't like him as an actor. Thought, he's not a good actor at all. But then in the last year, the films he's been in and done, he's become one of my favourite actors.
Nocturnal Animals.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, he's absolutely amazing in that. And another film I watched quite recently with him, and I can't think what it's called, but it was amazing in that as well. Oh, amazing.
If you haven't heard that noise, that's me chucking a steelbook at Alex, so you can see that.
Oh, it does look pretty cool.
Yeah, it's the Suicide Squad thing. If any of you...
but you can't polish a turd.
If any of you are even vaguely interested, just Google Suicide Squad Steelbook, as in, metal steel book, one word, and just look at the HMV artwork for it. It looks so cool, and it looks the way almost the film should have been. But... yeah, sorry, you're talking about Michael Shannon, because he was in Nocturnal Animals.
Yeah, he's in the other film, which is Midnight Special. He was good in that. And also Take Shelter. I've only just recently watched this with Hannah. Well, we've got to the end of it. It gets quite weird. Have you ever seen Take Shelter?
I don't even know what it is, no.
So, Take Shelter...
Is it a series?
No, it's a film. It came out in 2011.
Right.
Take Shelter... Plagued by a series of apocalyptic visions, a young husband and father questions whether to take his family into shelter from the upcoming storm or himself. And it's very much about, like, is he seeing these apocalypse-like thoughts? Like, is it actually happening?
Yeah.
Or is he making it up? And, yeah, and it's a very good film, very dark. Michael Shannon plays an amazing role in it, and obviously he's just a man that's literally losing it. Like, can you imagine? And he's seeing all these horrific visions and stuff, but... Absolutely brilliant film. Still haven't finished it, but from the point we got up to, it's absolutely brilliant. And Michael Shannon is a phenomenal actor, and he's also in the Shape of Water film coming out as well.
Oh yeah, because that's the Guillermo del Toro one where
everyone's
kind of umming and ahhing if the creature in it's meant to be Abe from.
I think it is.
I hope it is. That'd be a nice little multiverse thing, wouldn't it?
That'd be brilliant. I really do like Abe. I think it's great.
Yeah,
I love Hellboy. That's another superhero movie, which is absolutely brilliant.
See, I think Hellboy 2 is way better than Hellboy 1.
I
think Hellboy 1 was alright. I mean, I watched it the first time, I was like, that's amazing. And then I watched it again, and I was like, to be honest, it's really cool at the start, and then it just kind of...
fizzles out.
Yeah, the end of it's just really unsatisfying and dull.
Yeah, it's not as good as the second one.
But the second one I found really consistent the whole way through.
Really good, and the universe they created around it. I really hoped they would open the universe up and make more.
Well, they've continued it on with comics, I think. I haven't
read too many Hellboy comics.
I just want to see Ron Perlman with a giant rock fist beat the shit out of people again. It's just so cool.
I know.
Ron Perlman beating anyone up is cool, especially him looking like a devil.
Yeah, man. He's really good in Drive.
Oh yeah. Drive is a cool movie.
Yeah,
that's one of those weird. Awesome that was the film that made me like Ryan Gosling because I hadn't really seen him in much. And the problem is I've had this I had it with I think it's Brad Pitt and George Clooney where I was a bit like, oh, they're just good actors because they're good looking, and DiCaprio a bit when I was a bit younger as well. And then it's like, oh wait, no, they're fucking great. Like George Clooney, saw me from Dusk Till Dawn, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. Saw Brad Pitt in Fight Club. Saw DiCaprio in. It wasn't Wolf of Wall Street was the film that I realised I loved. DiCaprio.
Basketball Diaries is a film that I was like, fuck. Well, he's so young in it. He's only like 14, but Basketball Diaries is an amazing movie.
It's really good. I unfortunately like Trainspotting so much that Basketball Diaries to me was just slightly worse than Trainspotting. Yeah. I know they're quite different films.
Yeah.
But, you know, they kind of go hand in hand in a way. It's kind of like the difference between an American kid with heroin and a Scottish bloke on heroin. But they're both great films, both absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, really good.
Obviously, Trainspotting is one of my all-time favourite films ever. But yeah, what do you think of? Did you watch? You didn't watch the new Mummy film, did you? Or?
No, I watched.
Don't watch the new Mummy.
No, what I did, someone had posted it on YouTube.
The whole film?
Yeah, someone's put the whole film on YouTube, and it was you could watch it live. So what I did, because I couldn't be asked to watch the movie, I just skipped through it to find scenes that looked pretty cool. And it looked utter shit, and I watched the end part of it.
That's a terrible way to watch a movie.
Well, no, I didn't want to watch it at all, so I watched the start of it with the plane come down, and I watched him waking up. Then I skipped through a little bit later when he's the lady's doing all kind of
shit.
That
lady is the girl in Peaky Blinders series 1, isn't she?
So. Yeah, and then there's a water scene at the end or something. They're swimming. I was like, I ain't got time for this shit. Like,
it really, I saw that cinema. I had no high hopes for it, but I watched all. If anyone follows us on I Am Movies, it's like I did a thing where I watched the 3 Brendan Fraser mummy films, and they're all like the third one is surprisingly good as well. That they're all just
like the Dragon Empire.
Yeah. I mean, the first 2. I thought the first 2 are amazing, and then the third one is still pretty damn good, but it's just not as good. It's kind of like it's one of those films where why on earth would you watch the third one if you can watch the first or second one, and then I can't remember if the third one or the second was one where I think the second one's the one where they've got these weird. The second one's the Scorpion King one, isn't it? Yeah,
yes.
I found the first. I think that film was just like the first Mummy, but worse in every way. And then the CGI Dwayne Johnson at the end is just terrible.
Oh, it's the worst.
And those weird little
PS2 graphics,
tiny mummy things that are like 3 feet tall towards the end as well.
Jumping on the buses.
Yeah, and it just never gets explained ever, and it's just like what?
Yeah, it's one of those
bit misguided. I want them to. I wish they'd remade the Mummy, and Sam Raimi had remade it with Brendan Fraser. I don't want Brendan Fraser to be in it again because I love Brendan Fraser. I don't know where he's gone. Last time I saw him was in Scrubs, when it was a horrendously depressing episode of Dr. Cox.
Did a film called like Bejeweled or something, isn't he?
I don't know. I haven't heard from him since.
He goes out with the devil.
Oh, okay. Well, with oh no, I've seen. I think I've seen the DVD of that. That's quite an old film, I think.
Yeah, it's the lady in the red dress.
Yeah.
And he's like sat and there's like a snake around her neck.
Yeah. Well, it's like the new Mummy film. Don't watch it, guys. Anyone who's got high hopes for it, don't. The only cool part about it is Russell Crowe being Jekyll and Hyde, but he's not. It's not that he's amazing. It's just the rest of the film is so poor. By comparison, it looks good, and I just think he's alright as Jekyll and Hyde. But the thing is that you could have easily got someone way better. And they've tried to do this whole Dark Universe thing where they've got the Mummy. They're probably going to have Creature from the Black Lagoon. I think they're having Bride of Frankenstein. All these sorts of things. It's like you can't just think we've got all these monsters. Let's create a universe out of it. You have to actually kind of, in a way, have a reason. Do you know what I mean? Like there's got to be something good about them all.
They'll never ever beat the Monster Squad. They'll never beat that.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a movie, Monster Squad. Have you ever seen it?
I don't think so.
It's like the Goonies and Stand By Me, but it's a load of kids versus all of the classic monster movie villains. So you've got the Mummy, you got Frankenstein, you got Dracula, you got Werewolf, and it's such it's an 80s movie,
right?
And it's obviously the characters all look the part from what they did in like the 60s and that. Yeah. And it's such an amazing movie, and it's just these kids trying to and you can't I'm trying to get it on Blu-ray, but it's so impossible to get on Blu-ray.
So like underground.
But you can get it on DVD, but in limited
you're a
places.
Quality snob like I am now.
But it's an amazing movie, and it's one of my favourite monster movies of all time. I love classic monster movies. I've watched them all. But that is a really good film, and especially with the kids, they're all like young, and then it's very much like The Losers Club, but it's before they did that. And if you've never seen it, it's an amazing movie if you like classic monster movies.
Can we just do a shout out just about the new It film?
Oh, it's
Can we just say how unbelievably great that was? Like, I hadn't seen the original 3.5-hour mini-series thing that was out, but like it was the new It film. Not only was it very tense and creepy and scary in all the right amounts, but I suppose it wasn't quite as scary, I think, as it could have been. But I find that everything else was so balanced, where the bits where it was light were so perfectly done, and it was so funny. I was so surprised how funny it was.
I know.
The kid actors in it, because there's one. The main kid who's the funny one is the one he's in Stranger Things, and in Stranger Things there's. Oh, I'm gonna sound like such a dick now. In Stranger Things, I can't remember which one it is. Is it there's a kid who goes missing? It's not him. There's the kid Duncan with the missing front teeth. It's not him. And then there's the black kid. I can't remember his name. I'm sorry, but I can't think of any way to differentiate between them all. It's not him. It's the other one who falls. It's kind of really good friends of Elle. Him. He's the one who's in it, and he's just amazing in it. You know. Stranger Things as well. You need to watch. Anyone who likes movies, just watch Stranger Things.
Yeah, Stranger Things is really good.
It's so good. It's everyone I know who's seen it loves it. But we're on a little tangent. What are the? I was gonna say some other films that like really well received that we think are crap. Like I think The Descent. Like I hate that film.
Oh, I love The First Descent.
I just can't believe how you'd like it. It was so predictable. Me and Reese watched it when we were like
just a generic horror film, but it's got some good scares. It's got some good body horror gore in it.
The first half an hour when I was watching it, I was like, I was like, this is really good because they're climbing in the Descent. Just briefly, if people haven't seen it, it's made by the guy who made Dog Soldiers, which
Dog Soldiers.
I haven't seen Dog Soldiers, but I do want to watch it.
Love it.
But Descent, these women go caving, go abseiling down a cave and whatever, and then one of them falls, they break their leg, and there's a scene where like her bone is sticking out of her leg, and they have to snap it back in.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. That's so brutal and so realistic looking, and that really gives you chills. And then, halfway through the film, these little gremlin-y things come out.
Golems.
They look like a cross between Gollum and Voldemort with pointy ears and no eyes. So it's kind of like Gollum, Voldemort, and that weird thing from Pan's Labyrinth that's got the eye hand things. And it's like those things put together, and then everyone gets killed by them. I would say I'm spoiling the film, but I don't care because I think the film is terrible and it's been out for it's 2005, I think. So it's been out for a while as a horror film, so everyone always seems to die in horror films, generally. But these gremlin-y things come out, and everyone gets destroyed by them, and then the one main woman, she's not only is it predictable, because there's a bit where she's walking through a hallway and she peeks around a corner and it's not there, and then she peeks around there again, and surprise, it jumps from the ceiling. And me and Reese were watching it going, every jump scare that happened from that woman breaking her leg, we were like, oh, it's going to happen here. And it did. And so not only was the jump scares boring and unimaginative, and the monsters were just, randomly in a cave in America somewhere, there's these weird gremlin-y things, and there's absolutely hundreds of them, and they've all evolved in there for some reason, and then everyone's terrified of them and gets wrecked by them all, except this one woman. She manages to escape them. She falls in a pool of blood. She literally gets out of the pool of blood, stands up, and is immediately badass, and she kills so many of them. She has one ice pick or something, and she just goes straight and kills them. And the last half hour of the film, or 20 minutes or whatever, is just her killing loads of these gremlin things. It's just like, this isn't scary, it's not thrilling, it's just boring and poorly written. You don't fall in a giant pool of blood and then suddenly all your fears disappear. Like, if a lion's chasing me and I fall in a pool of blood, I don't come out and fight the lion. I'm now covered in blood and there's now a lion after me. It makes things worse. It doesn't mean I'm suddenly a badass.
Slip off your hands if you're covered in blood.
It's just so stupid. It seemed like she was kind of trying to be a discount Uma Thurman from Kill Bill.
Yeah.
And it was just like, no, don't watch Descent. Please, people. And it got such good reviews.
Yeah, you've not seen the second one, have you?
Well, the second one, isn't it that she escapes and then she goes and calls a sheriff to get help, and then they just take her back down there. And in that period of time of like a day, all the things down there have evolved even further into these even more ridiculous beings. Isn't that... Because I think I read the synopsis of it, and it was like... Because I was like, how can there be a sequel? And it's like she gets out and then goes back in there. And it's like, why does she have to go back in there?
Yeah, why the hell would she?
It's like, there's nothing you can possibly do. If you said, right, I'll put you in prison if you don't, it's like, okay, go on then. You go down there, you go down there, you find evidence of me doing anything wrong, and you can put me in prison. But it's, that film, that triggers me.
Yeah.
That film, because everyone likes it so much, including you. I know you don't love it, but it's just like, I was so hyped for it.
Yeah, I appreciate it for what it is.
I'd say, some of the best horror films, there's the new It, which I really, really rate. Don't Breathe, that film's amazing.
That's great.
That's a phenomenal film. I think that's produced by Sam Raimi and directed by the guy who made the Evil Dead film, isn't it?
Yeah.
The new Evil Dead one. Obviously, the new Evil Dead film is absolutely amazing. What was the other? Oh, Woman in Black.
Yeah, I love that film. That shouldn't be a 12A, but...
Yeah, well, I don't know. The thing is, 12s get away with so much now.
There's another film that I really do like. What it's called?
Oh, the new Blair Witch. I thought that was...
Get Out. I love Get Out. It was fantastic.
Yeah, Get Out was awesome. But I didn't find that as much of a horror. I found it more of a thriller.
Yeah, some of those films like body horror and things like that. Are more of a thriller. It's not really in jump scares or scary moments in it.
Blair Witch Project, the original one, that freaked me out when I first saw it.
It's really freaky.
I actually watched it the first night. Me and Reese watched Blair Witch and Descent, I believe. I think we watched Descent first. And... yeah, that freaked us out. But then, when I watched the new Blair Witch, it freaked me out even more. I just found... I won't spoil what happens in the film or anything, but I found that was almost the perfect sequel. It made a lot of sense. They had... Obviously, the first Blair Witch is all handheld cameras, and then the second one is... it's handheld cameras, but they also have a drone, and the cameras are better quality and stuff.
Yeah, it's really cool.
But I found the actual thing that's going after them and stuff, when you actually see it, it is absolutely... You only see it for a few seconds. I think screen time is only about 6 seconds. But everything about the last half hour of that film, because I think we watched it in the cinema together, didn't we? I was like traumatized after that. That freaked me right out.
Do you know what looks really good? The new horror film called The Ritual.
Yes! Oh, me and Callum saw the trailer for that.
Yeah, man.
Oh, if anyone,
so good.
anyone should go check out that trailer for The Ritual. It looks, to be honest,
I love films about cults. I love The Wicker Man.
See, I haven't seen Wicker Man.
Mate, The Wicker Man is so... Oh.
That's the one with the really cool artwork, isn't it? You've got the Steelbook that's like all drawn, and it's the same guy who made the Ghostbusters ones and the Star Wars wallpaper that I've got on my phone.
Yeah, man, it's really cool.
Yeah.
And it's such an... It makes you feel fucking weird, that film does.
Well, it's one of those things when you get humans sacrificing other humans in a ritual way, it's a lot more close to the bone in a way, because people do actually do that sort of thing.
Oh, you know what film that kept on my mind for a long time, and so did Hannah's mum. She watched it and she was like, I couldn't get it out of my head. The Witch. Fucking hell.
It's weird you mention that, because I believe, once again, I think TJ mentioned The Witch.
Yeah, man.
I believe it was on the podcast, I think, but I haven't seen that.
Yeah, man, it's really, really fucks with your head, and it's one of those films where you go away and you think about it, and it gets weirder, and you don't want to be thinking about it at night because it's really weird, and it's one of those things that will give you nightmares, and the visuals in it are just so disgusting and so close to the bone.
Yeah,
you don't want to be thinking about it at night time.
Yeah, well, it's like I thought there's a couple of other horror films that have come out, like around Halloween. All the best horror films come out. There's that Death Day coming out, which it's like Groundhog Day, but I feel like the trailer's given away too much. But I feel like I can actually already know what the plot is by the trailer. I just want to say, I think we're recording this right now. It's the 13th of September, okay, 2017, obviously, and so the film isn't even out yet, I don't think, anywhere. I am pretty damn certain, just by watching the trailer, that what the twist is going to be that there's this person killing her and, she dies, comes back to life. You should watch the trailer, it's quite cool. But, it's like Groundhog Day sort of thing, but, she dies and she has to figure out who the killer is. I'm pretty certain it's not going to be one person who's the killer. Like, I think that's going to be the twist, is there's going to be more than one person trying to kill her. Because it just seems like the trailer seemed to give away so much,
Yeah.
That somehow the killer, if you watch the trailer, it says the killer knew when your birthday was. Oh, she does this thing, and the killer still finds her and does this and does this. And there's one bit where she's driving away in a car, like screaming out of happiness, and then the thing comes and like runs a policeman over or something, and then gets out the car. And I was just like, she wouldn't be cheering out happiness if she had escaped it somehow. But it's much more likely that there's more than one person, and it's probably on a college campus or something, because all set there. There's some sort of cult, and all her friends have joined it or something. Or maybe she's a complete bitch, and that's going to be the twist of it. She's actually a really horrible person or something.
What I know we did last summer kind of thing.
Probably. So I just want to say, right now, that's what I think the film is going to happen. I do want to see that
scene from Hot Fuzz. And any luck catching those killers then?
Oh, yeah. Any luck catching those killers then? Yeah.
Just the one killer, actually.
I love that film. Cracking film.
But yeah, I like those films, mate. I love Source Code. That's a brilliant film.
Edge of Tomorrow, mate.
Yeah, Edge of Tomorrow is really good. I prefer Edge of Tomorrow over Source Code.
Yeah, me too.
But Source Code is really good.
Source Code is great, but I think Edge of Tomorrow just blew me away.
Yeah, man.
I was so surprised how good that was.
They did some really good special effects for that film as well.
Yeah, I really
I wasn't looking forward to it, but it did really well.
Yeah, well, it's like
What? Did you see that film Oblivion?
No, I didn't. It looked really average and uninteresting.
I saw it, and I'm just trying to remember what the ending was like.
Well, so I just don't. If you do, don't spoil it for anyone who does care. Yeah. But I know it's Morgan Freeman and Tom Cruise, and just like that kind of film where it's like sci-fi films are big at the moment. Let's get one of the biggest action film actors in, and one of the biggest just kind of generally loved. Like any time Morgan Freeman's in a film, people seem to love it because obviously he's great in everything relatively. So it's just like, let's just put these two people together and make a sci-fi film. And it's just like, what? And you look at the trailer, you're like, I don't give a crap about this. There's nothing about this film that looks even remotely interesting. And all the reviews were like, yeah, it's alright. I'm not wasting my time watching an alright film.
A good Morgan Freeman film that many people have seen is Last Vegas.
Oh, it's actually good.
I love that film. I've seen it so many times.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's really funny. Robert De Niro.
Yeah, it's all the old
Kevin
dudes,
Costner.
Michael Keaton or something?
No, Michael Keaton's
Douglas.
on it. Michael Douglas has done it, yeah.
There you go. I was too confused.
Yeah, Robert De Niro, Morgan Freeman.
I love Robert De Niro. He's great in everything. Robert De Niro.
Really good movie.
Yeah, well,
so watch that.
Yeah. Well, let's we're getting nearish to the hour mark now. I know you got to head off soon. So do I. I've got work tomorrow as well. Great. But we've got about 10, 20 minutes left or so. So let's say, what's some of your favourite films? And then also, what are some films that people probably haven't seen that you'd really recommend? You know, I just want to put it out there. Two that we both completely agree on is going to be.
I'm going to get my list up.
Oh God, there's Hunt for the Wilder People.
Amazing.
It's on Netflix. I think it's only an hour and a half long. It's got Sam Neill in it, who's in Peaky Blinders. Everything. It seems like everything we've been talking about today, it's got someone from Peaky Blinders in it. It's got Sam Neill who's in Peaky Blinders, and it's got this kid in it who's amazing. It's heartwarming. It's one of the only films that's almost made me cry out of happiness and also sadness. It's Hunt for the Wilder People. If you like people movies or you like feeling any kind of emotion and you like a good movie that isn't just pure action, watch Hunt for the Wilder People. It's one of those films. It's almost like an indie movie that really needs. It's made by the guy who made What We Do in the Shadows, but I think it's about 100 times better than What We Do in the Shadows.
So good.
I like What We Do in the Shadows, but I just found that it wasn't as amazing as I was hoping. But Hunt for the Wilder People. Everyone's just got to go see that film. It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
I can't recommend that enough. That's a small film. So have you got your list uploaded?
Yeah, a few films I'll just mention. The Great Outdoors is one of my ultimate, like, easy watching comedy films. It's got John Candy in, unfortunately, before he died. It's his last film. But that film is so funny.
I can't say I've seen that. Every film you're going to mention, I'm not going to have seen, and I'm going
to. Your
mention
next
films.
is an absolutely brilliant horror film.
You keep mentioning that to me, and I keep
forgetting. Not many people have
it.
seen it, but it's a brilliant film.
There's a Steelbook of that out as well,
Is there?
Yeah.
City of God. A lot of people haven't seen that.
Isn't there two? Isn't there City of Ashes and City of God or something? Or
no idea. City of God is Portuguese movie.
Oh, I think I'm thinking of something else.
Brilliant movie. I remember watching it in film studies. Trying to think of any other films that I'd recommend people trying to watch, because I try and watch anything and everything.
The best kind of films are when you don't know anything about it.
Yes.
And you that's why a lot of the time when trailers come out and it's just a bit like the Marvel are the worst for this, when they release about 1 billion trailers for films. I remember when Avengers 2 came out, there was like 4 trailers for it.
Yeah,
One of them was like a whole Hulkbuster trailer. It's like, Hulkbuster's only on screen for like 10 minutes. And you've got a 3-minute trailer or 2-minute trailer. It's like,
so annoying.
No need. You don't have to. It's like there was on YouTube, obviously, we're both, I think, subscribed to the movie trailers things, so we can see when new trailers come out and whatnot. And it was like one of the movie trailers things had compiled every Wonder Woman advert together to 19 minutes. Why the fuck would anyone spend 20 minutes watching Wonder Woman film trailers? The film's only 2 hours long, and it's actually a good movie. Surprisingly, it's the best DC movie, I'd say. But
films I've watched recently,
I'd
say I recently watched Sleepless in Seattle. I think that film's the best rom-com ever made.
Yeah, so I think the best rom-com ever made is 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yeah, but I'm talking about proper rom-com. So that is a good movie. It's one of the best comedies ever made. But I'm talking about the classic 90s love. So you've got Mel, When Harry Met Sally.
Love Actually, mate. That's not 90s, but Love Actually, that's the best.
Yeah, Love Actually is really good.
I'd actually change my mind. I think 40 Virgin is the best comedy.
Which ones have you seen? Have you seen Sleepless in Seattle?
No, of course I haven't.
Tom Hanks is amazing in that. Have you seen When Harry Met Sally?
No.
Have you seen You've Got Mail?
No.
Oh, dude.
I know. For someone who had so little friends when I was younger, I watched very few movies. There's Love Actually is one of those films which I was sceptical to watch, and I was like, it's one of those crappy rom-com films. When in actual reality, the majority of rom-coms are actually quite good.
Yeah.
Both Bridget Jones films that I've seen, I haven't seen the new one, Baby, but I saw the first 2 Bridget Jones films. I think they're actually good. I think they're enjoyable. I think The Holiday with Cameron Diaz, Jack Black, Kate Winslet, and Jude Law, that's a good film. I really like The Holiday. The more I think about it, the more I enjoy that. Pretty Woman is surprisingly good. Yeah, it's very rare to watch a rom-com that's bad. It's just quite rare to watch a rom-com that's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, well, you need to see Sleepless in Seattle at least. Tom Hanks is brilliant in that movie. Really, really good in that movie.
I think La La Land or Whiplash.
Oh, La La Land. Yeah.
Whiplash is one of those films where
Whiplash is literally one of my favourite movies of all time.
I'm so annoyed I didn't get a steelbook of that.
I'm like free now, steelbooks of that.
You're a dick. You're an absolute dick.
I have 2 special editions and 1 steelbook.
Well, the
Kimchi.
That was a Kimchi. Because there's another one out, Lescam or something. There's a
really.
No, not Lescam. There's a couple of people who we follow on Instagram who post about like limited edition ones where it's kind of like Kimchi, but it's not quite. It's called something. Maybe it's Lencan. I don't know.
Something like that.
But limited edition, ridiculously expensive steel Blu-rays and whatnot. It's annoying now because the steelbooks are starting to go like Alien Covenant. There's no Alien Covenant Blu-ray steelbook. There's only the Ultra 4K HD one.
I accidentally ordered 2. I've got it coming tomorrow.
But they're Ultra 4K, mate.
What, the ones I didn't know? The ones I have ordered, the ones from H&V aren't.
Yeah, they are.
Let me have a look.
I was looking at it earlier today because I was on my lunch, or maybe it was yesterday, because I was like, I haven't got Alien Covenant on Blu-ray or anything.
Really enjoyed that movie though.
Covenant was really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a great movie to watch with mates and stuff.
Yeah, some of the gore in it is phenomenal.
Yeah,
it's probably the best gore, I'd say, of any Alien film.
Some of it's so well done, that first couple of bits.
I just find that the problem is that every character's just an idiot. That's quite annoying, and they do that thing.
Not as bad as Prometheus, but yeah.
Yeah, Prometheus is boring. I don't like that film.
I love Prometheus, but the characters make the worst decisions. They can't be scientists making the decisions they make.
Well, I just found it so dull. It's like Prometheus was just so uninteresting for me. I found it so not gripping. I remember everyone saying it was rubbish, and I watched it, and it was better than I thought it was going to be, but it's just so forgettable. I found it was so vague, but trying to be really edgy and complicated. And it was just a bit like, oh. Because it kind of made me dislike Ridley Scott, because he made Blade Runner, and I need to rewatch the first one, because I really didn't like the original Blade Runner. I didn't like the original Alien, and obviously there was Alien Covenant was really good, but the characters in it were a bit annoying. And then I watched The Martian, and that film is amazing.
Yeah, it's really good.
I find the 3 trifectas of brilliant sci-fi movies of recent years are Interstellar, Moon,
really good,
and Martian. It's quite funny because Interstellar, Matt Damon's in Interstellar, almost the same character he's in Martian.
Yeah,
and then
just
Moon,
less of a dick.
Yeah, and then Moon is quite similar. It's almost like Martian is like halfway between Interstellar and Moon. But I just found Moon is Sam Rockwell. He's one of my favourite actors.
It's a really good movie. That Alien Covenant. It comes with the UK 4K Ultra HD, but it also comes with a Blu-ray and a digital copy.
Oh, okay. So it comes with Blu-ray, but it's also 4K.
Yeah, you get 2 discs in it. One's the HD one.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yeah. But how much? That's like 23 quid, isn't it?
23 quid, yeah.
No.
I ordered 2, so I can give you one.
I don't need to give me one. Why'd you order 2?
I didn't mean to. I don't know. I just saw 50 quid come out of my account the other day, and I looked at my orders, and it was,
just send one back.
Yeah, it might do.
Don't give it to me. I'd feel bad. And also, you're going to Wales soon anyway, so it'll be a nightmare. And I do want that film, but I'll probably just buy it on Blu-ray, so I'll ask for it for Christmas for my mum or something. Just like, because obviously, when you get past like 18, 20, you don't really get gifts off people anymore. But my mum's lovely and still buy me stuff for Christmas, like a few little knickknacks and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I normally just the films that I want to own that aren't out on Steelbook, I just normally ask. Like I got Kubo and the 2-String. I got True Grit. I still haven't watched True Grit.
True Grit's amazing.
I keep meaning to. I started watching it with someone. I think it was one of the girls that I was dating a few months ago. I think. I can't really remember. But I started watching it. I watched about 2 or 3 minutes of it, and we just weren't feeling it. It was like you have to pay a lot of attention, and we were just wanting to watch something quite chill.
Yeah.
But I do want to watch True Grit. It keeps. I've got it poking out there. I do want to watch it.
It's really, really good.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. Another one of my favourite actors is Oscar Isaac.
Whoa.
Oh, Ex Machina. That film. Everyone needs to watch Ex Machina. Hunt for the Wilder People, Ex Machina, and according to Alex, Sleepless in Seattle.
Sleepless in Seattle, yeah.
Ex Machina.
Yeah, I saw Oscar Isaac in something recently, and I didn't realise he was in it.
Were these in... there's a new film. What's it called? It's called like 5 words. It's like can't take my eyes off you, or can't look at me, or something like that. Man, I'm terrible. It's terrible research into this.
He's in Suburbicon.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
That's the one with Matt Damon, isn't it, that we want to watch?
Yeah, it looks really good.
It's coming out. You guys should watch the trailers for Suburbicon. Was it Suburbicon, Downsizing, Wind River? They're all films that are coming out soonish. But I don't know if they're going to be out by the time this podcast comes out, because I'm not exactly sure when I'm going to release this. You know, I imagine
September now.
Yeah, well, I know it's September now. I want to stockpile and record a few more episodes first, and then I'll release them. Obviously, I'm going to release them in parts because I'm not going to try not release them in like 2-hour chunks.
Yeah.
Because obviously the one with TJ is almost 3 hours long. But yeah, I'm just going to look up with the Oscar Isaac movies. I just really need to know. But I want to say Ex Machina. If there's any film for me, if there's any film that I'd suggest that people should watch, it's got to be Ex Machina. Like, Ex Machina is one of my favourite films, probably ever, to be honest. I'm quite a sci-fi buff, but I was blown away by just how good it was.
Social Network. Watch Social Network.
Oh, Social Network. That's another one by David Fincher, isn't it?
Really do love that movie.
If anyone hasn't watched that yet, if anyone's like, oh, the Facebook movie, I'm with you. I legit thought the Facebook movie was going to be absolutely terrible. But then I watched it, and it's not really even about Facebook, but it is absolutely amazing. The film I was thinking of, I believe, is Two Faces in January.
Oh.
I believe.
The two films I'm going to recommend is The Big Short, which is absolutely brilliant, and Spotlight. Spotlight won the Oscar for Best Movie of the Year.
I still haven't watched that yet. I'm going to watch that with my mate Jasmine at some point.
Spotlight, yeah, and The Big Short. They're both brilliant movies. They both won Oscars.
Yeah.
And they both are just a collection of amazing actors all in one film. They've got so many actors in both the films.
Yeah.
And they're just brilliant.
So we've got about a minute left. So let's just really brief round up. Okay. So the films I'd say is for comedy movie. I don't know. Comedy's a difficult one because there's so many comedy films. It's so subjective.
Yeah,
but I'd say 40 Year Old Virgin's universal.
Rat Race.
But everyone's seen bloody 40 Year Old Virgin. But
yeah.
So we'd say with rom-com for me, I'd say is Love Actually. You'd say Sleepless in Seattle.
Yeah.
For people films, I think we'd both agree Hunt for the Wilder People is probably one of the best.
Yes.
But also The Way Back.
Everyone
needs to watch Way Back. That film, if you don't love that film, there's something wrong with you. And obviously anything Wes Anderson. Horror films, I'd say the original Blair Witch, the new Blair Witch, A Woman in Black, and Don't Breathe, and the new It.
Yeah.
I think are all real. Obviously the Conjuring films are good as well, but they're not quite up to the same standard, I'd say, as the others.
Conjuring 2 is probably my favourite out of them.
I think they're both pretty close, though. That's the thing. They're both really good films. I just didn't think they were mind-blowing.
Yeah.
And then sci-fi, I've got to say Moon, Interstellar, Martian, and Ex Machina.
Yeah, what was really good was Swiss Army Man. That's like a bit of a sci-fi, I guess.
That's just one of those weird-ass films that no one really knows how to explain it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few of those films. I can't really think of any really... Oh, there's the weirdest film I think I've ever seen is probably Being John Malkovich.
Yeah, that is really weird.
It's cool, though. It's a good movie. But it's weird.
Another one that's really... I can't think of it. I'll have to think of another podcast. But yeah, I know it's another movie that is great.
It's fine. And, yeah, I'm trying to think of the other genres. People are probably going to be screaming. The problem is there's a lot of action movies. And the thing is, action movies... It's so easy to make a good action movie, but it's quite hard to make a truly amazing one. But In Bruges, I'd say everyone should watch In Bruges. Oh, that's a great movie.
A film that no one's ever, never found someone else who's seen it.
Right.
Is Beasts of the Southern Wild.
Beast of the Southern Wild.
Beasts of the Southern Wild. It is a brilliant movie. If you ever get a chance to watch that, it's a brilliant movie.
Yeah.
Honestly, and no one really seen it. It was nominated for 4 Oscars and won tons of awards. And it's a fantastic story about a girl and her dad during this kind of part in the world where there's all these floods have come in. No one's got any, like, they're just kind of living off the land, and she's with her dad, and there's these like creatures called the Beasts of the Southern Wild, and it's hard to explain. But if you have Beasts of the Southern Wild, watch it. It's incredible.
Cool. And also I want to also add Children of Men. That film's got arguably the best one shot I've ever seen in my life. Just where he's in that building about 3/4 through. I won't spoil it because that film is very story driven. But there's a bit where the main character's in the building and he's walking towards the camera and the camera's constantly moving back. And I can't know how long the scene is. I think it's like 5-10 minutes long of one shot. And I'm just such a sucker for one shot. The Raid 2. That one shot scene in the prison, in the yard sort of bit is just right. We're just going to keep just randomly mentioning. Yeah, we're just going to be sat here for the next half hour and just going, oh, this film.
Exactly.
Oh, this film. So I think we're kind of done. You know, it's getting kind of late-ish now, and we've done over 2 hours of podcasting now. So so we're going to end this here. It's been a pleasure to have you on, Alex. Hopefully, I'll.
It's been brilliant.
Yeah, in the next, I don't know, with it. I'll be doing the podcast for a long period of time. I do want to, keep this going for hopefully years and years. And so I'll see you in the next. But when you move off to Wales and stuff, I'll obviously come visit you and stuff. And then in the next year or two, maybe we'll chuck on another couple of podcasts.
Definitely.
Have a catch up with what you're doing with your forest schools and stuff, and we'll chat about movies again and whatnot. So So if you guys enjoyed this podcast, basically on Facebook and on Instagram, we've got a page is I Am Movies. We have limitless cards, and we generally. We try and post, I'd say, about 4 times a week, I'd say, maybe 3, 4, sometimes 5 times a week.
Yeah.
It depends what we're doing. We both have jobs and lives. You know, more Alex having a life than me. And we try and watch films, but you know, there are certain weeks where just almost no films come out and nothing's good at the cinema, and we're both quite busy with shit, so it's just like hard to do stuff. But if you're into movies and you care vaguely about our opinions on movies, or if you just want to see some cool steelbooks, just follow us on Instagram. I am movies. It's easy enough to find, or on Facebook.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, cool. Well, yeah, that's the end of that then. See you guys later.
See you later. Bye bye.
So yeah, that's the end of that one then. That was the movie episode, obviously, with Alex. I'm not really sure what I'm going to release next week yet, as I'm recording this a week or two before release. So yeah, I haven't figured out what I'm going to release next. So it's going to be an adventure for all of us. So yeah, make sure you like on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all those sorts of things. On all the, if you can review, that'd be great. Leave a like. I'm happy with also any feedback and whatnot. So yeah, well, thanks for listening again, guys, and I'll be talking to you again soon, shortly. Wow, soon, shortly. That was terrible, wasn't it? God, I can't remember to record another outro. I'm sorry, guys. See you later.